Welcome back to Vinny's Aquatics. Thank you for joining me today, guys. But hey, can you keep a secret? Because we got to talk about something that I need to keep a secret. But first, let's hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thank you. All right, so spring is sprung, as they say. It's warming up out, and it's got me thinking about doing something outside. Having a water feature maybe a little pond. You know, you look around, they're all over YouTube, so many beautiful ponds. Like this beautiful pond right here. Look how relaxing it looks. Or, here's another one here, a beautiful koi pond. Now, I'm thinking to myself, I would love to have one of these. But, like I said, there's a huge problem. And the problem is, so what do you call a bunch of Karens hanging out in a room together? A homeowners association. All right, so where I live, I have a homeowners association. And of course, they have a plethora of rules. One of them is, say, like no fire pits outside, even though you can have a grill. I don't know how much sense that makes. Number 2, no water features and no ponds. So, being Vinny, what did I decide to do? I decided to try to figure out a way to get around the rules and to put in a pond. So, what I did 2 years ago, on the down low, I dug a hole and I buried a 55-gallon plastic tote that I got at Home Depot into the ground. Now I filled that up with water and basically I didn't do nothing to it but put a plant in it. And I let it sit for the whole year hoping, and nobody saw it and nobody complained. And it was successful. So, year 2, I did the same thing, but I did add a small little filter. Not a problem. So, here we are. This is year 3. So far, no one has complained. So let's see how far I can push this before I get in trouble. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to clean out what's here existing. I'm going to try to save this plant that's in there. I got this plant. Yeah, I got it originally 3 years ago from Fishbowl Pets, Stamford, Connecticut. It's just a tall grass. And you guys that have been, watching the channel since the beginning, you know my history with plants. But I definitely can grow plants outside. Yep, those are the one plants I can't kill. I actually have some duckweed growing out in the backyard now. I mean, as soon as I bring it inside, it's gonna die. But, let's take a success where we get a success. So I've had this plant for 3 seasons. So what am I gonna do with this pond and how am I gonna keep it from being discovered? All right, here's my outlaw pond, as I'm going to call it. We're going to call it the outlaw pond because these are outlawed. It's pretty simple. So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to take this plant out. We're going to clean all the roots. There's a ton of dead leaves in here, or mulm as they call it. We're going to grab a lot of that out. And we're going to go from there. Now, funny coincidence is I just got a letter from my homeowners association. And in the letter, it explained to me, now we have grills and we're allowed to have a grill in the backyard. And I have 2 propane tanks. I have a spare and I have the one that's hooked up to the grill. Now I got this letter and they're telling me that I can't store propane tanks. And it makes me think, what? So I emailed them back and I was like, what do you mean I can't have a spare propane tank? And they're like, no, you can't store propane on the premises like that. And I think to myself, who am I? Vinny Al-Qaeda? I mean, what am I going to do with a spare tank? And then what do I got to do? What, I got to keep it in my house now? It's just ridiculous. Now, here, look, you can see all the leaves that accumulated. Going to get those all out of there. I might end up draining this down. I do have believe it or not, I did sneak in a gravel substrate on the bottom. So we'll see how that goes. And speaking of homeowners associations, while I was doing a little research for this, I came upon this story. Wait till you hear this. All right, check this out. This is a rule I found. Thou shalt not plant too many roses. Now, a Rancho Santa Fe, California Homeowners Association targeted Jeffrey DeMarco for exceeding the prescribed number of rose bushes allowed on his 4-acre property. See, this man is very bad. He had too many rose bushes. And when DeMarco complained, the Homeowners Association decided to levy a monthly fine on the man. And they threatened him with foreclosure. And ultimately defeated the man in court. So after the judge ruled that the willful rose enthusiast had violated the community's architecture design rules, DeMarco was forced to pay the Homeowners Association's $70,000 legal bill. And he lost his home to the bank. Jesus. He's definitely not coming up roses after that one. Hey, you guys, any of you listening or watching have a Homeowners Association? Please, leave me one of your horror stories down in the comments if you can. So, still taking the leaves out. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to probably drain it, refill it. I want to build a waterfall feature with the built-in filter. I think I might DIY it myself. I'm not going to use a heater or anything like that. And I don't know what I'm going to stock it with. I mean, all I really did was I put like 3 Comets in it last year, and that was it. And they survived the whole year, so that worked pretty good. Now, if you guys got any ideas on stocking, it's only a 55-gallon. I could probably put a couple things in it. I just want to see if I can get away with it. And if any of you guys have to do something like this, or you got a stealth pond, an outlaw pond out in your, in your homeowners association or in your community where you're not supposed to have one, let me know. Especially email me some pictures even. I love to show everybody. All right, now that I got most of that out of there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this plant and I'm going to clean up the roots a little bit because it's taking up way too much room and the roots have just gone absolutely crazy. After I get it all set up and I put the waterfall feature in, I'm going to go around the backyard and I'm just going to dig out a whole bunch of rocks and I'm going to rockscape around this. Try to make it look a little more natural, kind of get rid of that cheap plastic tub look it has right now. But like I said, I got away with this for 2 years. All right, now I'm going to grab this plant. It's heavy too. So what I want to do is I just want to trim this plant down a little bit and then get it back in the water. Nothing beats that feeling of wet, slimy roots. Look at this thing. The roots are just growing out of control. I never took it out of the container, which I don't know if I should have or not. I think that's going to actually make what I'm doing right now easier. It's the fact I left it in the container and I sat it on what I did was I put a large rock in the corner in the bottom of the tub, and then I sat the plant on top of that so it could grow out of the water. I don't even know the name of this plant. I did and I don't. I'm just going to clean it up now. As I'm doing this, my neighbors are walking by. Let's hope they don't complain. Just clean up these roots a little bit. All right, here's another Homeowners Association horror story while I fix this plant. Now, this man, his name is Joe Woodard. He lives in Sanford, Florida. Now, there was a plane crash, and this plane crash crashed into his house. It killed his wife and their infant son. This guy decides to rebuild a new home on the same lot, but his reconstruction came to a screeching halt when his homeowners association informed him that he positioned the new structure unacceptably and he failed to achieve a perfect shingle match with his neighbors' homes. Let me repeat that. He failed to achieve a perfect shingle match with his neighbors' homes. Threatened with a lawsuit, the grieving widower told a local reporter that he was just hoping to change things up to avoid reliving painful memories. But eventually, he capitulated to the unsympathetic Homeowners Association. All right, I'm just going to let that sit there for a second. Whew. All right, so I'm pretty much done with the plant. The next thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to drain this out. And then what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to run an extension cord, an exterior waterproof extension cord out here for my filtration. But I'm also thinking what I want to do is order some of those solar panels. This would be a great opportunity to check out one of those solar-powered filters or a solar-powered air pump, and let's see how it does, because this does get a lot of sun during the day. So I'm curious to see how that goes. Now, I'm going to show you the progress and how this evolves over time and whether we get caught or not. I mean, that's going to be part of the fun, right? Can we get away with this? Or am I going to get busted? Am I going to get another letter? Am I going to get fined? I don't know. Let's see. Everything's all clean. Plants all trimmed. Ready to go. So this is what it looks like from the outside. We take a step back, give you guys a perspective of what the neighbors might see as they walk by. Hopefully I can blend that in. What do you think? Either way. Go now. Go check out Vinny's merch at the Vinny's merch store at Teespring. Link in the description below. Join the Vinny's Aquatics Army. Thank you guys for joining me for part 1 of the Outlaw Pond Project. I hope you had a good time, and I'll see you next time on Vinny's Aquatics.